It is often said that if there is no enemy within, the enemy outside can do no harm. Imagine this: a nation, once seen as the hope for Africa's sovereignty, now seemingly aligned with the very powers that once exploited and divided the continent. Betrayal or a calculated move? This isn't just another political twist. It's a story that will make you question the very essence of African leadership today. Wait, because the secret is about to be reviewed. Let's begin with the shocking turn of events in Ivory Coast. A country long considered a symbol of political stability and economic growth in West Africa has now welcomed French warships to its shores. Ostensibly, these warships are there to fight illegal fishing, drug trafficking, and piracy. But let's not kid ourselves. Africans, especially those in the Sahel region, are deeply suspicious of this reasoning. Could this be a smokescreen for something far more sinister? The warship, loaded with 300 troops, 60 vehicles, and 2 helicopters, paints a picture of anything but a benign mission. This isn't just about protecting coastal waters, it's about power. The kind of power that's wielded behind closed doors, with foreign governments pulling the strings of African leadership. But that's not all. Captain IbrahimTraoré has dropped a bombshell that shakes the very foundation of African unity. He accuses Ivory Coast and Benin, with French support, of plotting to destabilize his country. Think about that for a moment. African nations, once united against colonialism, now allegedly working with their former colonizers to undermine a fellow African nation. No matter what these countries stand to gain, does it worth it to betray your fellow African nation? But wait, is Traoré paranoid? Or is there truth to his claims? His accusations don't come out of thin air. He says he has evidence, proof of French bases in Benin, audio recordings, and military tracks that all point to an orchestrated plan to destabilize BurkinaFaso. Could it be that Ivory Coast, under pressure from France, is complicit in this betrayal? If this is true, it's a disheartening reminder of how deeply rooted foreign influence still is in African politics, especially a note that France isn't backing out any moment. What happened to African leaders putting the interests of their people first? Traoré's bold stance is a rare breath of fresh air in African politics. Unlike other leaders who seem to bend to foreign powers, Traoré is turning Burkina Faso into a self-sufficient, independent nation. But that doesn't come without resistance. The Ivory Coast, supposedly a neighbor and ally, stands accused of aiding France in sabotaging his efforts. But why would they do this? What's in it for them? The timing of the French warship's arrival is curious. Right after Traoré's accusations, the warships dock in Ivory Coast. Is it a mere coincidence, or is this part of a broader plan? The leadership of Ivory Coast and Benin must answer for these allegations. If they are indeed collaborating with France to destabilize Burkina Faso, it signals a dark chapter for African unity, a betrayal of the Pan-African dream. Can Africa ever unite if its leaders are willing to sell out their own continent? Foreign governments have long manipulated African nations for their own gain, and it seems that Ivory Coast may have fallen into the same trap. It's clear that foreign powers fear leaders like Traoré. His vision for an independent Burkina Faso threatens the old colonial order. If Traoré succeeds, it could inspire other African nations to follow suit, breaking free from the shackles of foreign dominance. This is exactly what France and its allies within Africa are trying to prevent. Are they afraid of what Burkina Faso could become under Traoré's leadership? Traorés have just launched a recruitment campaign aimed at building a civilian army of 1 million volunteers, is a bold move that demonstrates his commitment to Burkina Faso's sovereignty. This army is to protect the nation, but the key question is, Why has this drastic measure been taken? Is the security situation deteriorating further? Let's not forget that just last month on Saturday, August 24th, approximately 200 civilians lost their lives and another 140 were injured in Barcelo, a town in Burkina Faso. This tragic event was perpetrated by an armed group linked to Al-Qaeda, Jamaat Nusrat al-Islam, while Muslimin Janim among the victims were workers and children, making the attack now referred to as the Barcelo Massacre, one of the deadliest in recent history. So Traoré actions are a clear response to the external threats facing his nation. But while Traoré is focused on securing his country, Ivory Coast and Benin seem more concerned with maintaining their alliances with France.